available in the juicy state. Now this is paksha because this is not a place, but it is a vishaya, a subject. A vishaya wherein what is doubted? Is it preceded by anubhava or not? It is doubted, is it not? So therefore, saushupta tamo bodhaha is paksha. Okay? Now in the Nayayikas, in the five limbs, they don't separately mention paksha because paksha is related to sadhya, what they are going to prove. So like the fire is related to what? The mountain. So like that. So therefore, so paksha you are also supposed to know. Now let us take this model of whether the mountain is fiery or not. Now you say, look here. Parvataha vanniman. This is the pratijna or the sadhya. Means we have made an assertion or a proposition. The mountain is fiery. The question comes, sir, how do you say so? Dhumatvat iti hetuhu. Dhumatvat. Because there is, what is there? Smoke is there on the mountain. Dhumatvat iti hetuhu. So therefore this is the reason we are given. So now we have to give udharana or drishtanta, illustration we have to give. Yo yo dhumavan saha agniman yatha mahanasaha iti udharanam. Yo yo dhumavan saha agniman yatha mahanasaha. Mahanasa means a big kitchen. Iti udharana. Yo yo dhumavan. Whatever that has got the smoke. Saha agniman. It has got the fire. Yatha, just as mahanasaha. Like a big kitchen, not modern kitchen. Modern kitchen, what will happen? Your steam cooking or gas cooking, the smoke will not be there. Hold on. Of course, no, certainly. Earlier 6 months course, brahmacharinis were making rotis. You know, is it not? How much smoke was there? That's smoke, okay? So wherever there is such a kitchen, there is certainly smoke is there. So yatha mahanasaha drishtanta. Okay? Now, that drishtanta of the kitchen has to be applied to the smoke on the mountain. So therefore it says, so tathacha ayam parvataha. Tathacha means mahanasa, yatha mahanasaha, just as the kitchen, tatha ayam parvata, means yatha mahanasaha dhumavan, tatha ayam parvataha dhumavan. This is what is called as iti upanayaha application. Now you come to the nigamana or that is you deduce, that your conclusion is tasmat tatha means tatha parvataha vanniman. Tasmat yatha dhumavan mahanasaha agniman or vanniman tatha parvataha vanniman. So is the mountain fiery. This is what is called as nigamanam. Nigamanam, this is the conclusion that you have finally arrived at. These are the panchavayavaha, the 5 limbs of nyaya. The paksha is excluded. Paksha is connected to the sadhya or pratijna. So that is separated. Otherwise it will become 6, but they consider only the 5. This is what is the anumanam. We have got a model of now nyaya. What is nyaya? Pararthanumanam nyaya. So you have to educate other person to make him infer that there is, that means the fire on the mountain. You have to go through these 5 steps. I think this much is enough. Now this model will apply tomorrow to what? Saushupta tamo bodhaha, and we will deduce that it is preceded by anubhava. We will infer that it is preceded by anubhava. So by that you can revise it. Okay, I know. That's why I said this is the first jerk you are getting, okay, of tarka. So other jerk will come somewhere around 50 or 51 some stanza. When Purva Paksha comes, they are little more. Otherwise it is smooth ride only. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I've seen so far that in the waking state, the Vedyaha, the known, are different from each other. Whatever that we know, they are different from each other. But Samvit is one and the same. The Samvit is one and the same. Same thing is true in the case of dream also. The known Vishayaha, Vedyaha are different in the dream, but Samvit is one and the same. The Samvit in the waking and the Samvit in the dream also are both one and the same. Now we have to find out whether there is Samvit in the deep sleep state, whether there is Vedya in the, first we have to find out whether there is a Vedya thing to be known in the deep sleep state. Thereby we will arrive at the Samvit, whether it is there in the deep sleep state, and whether that Samvit is same as that or that in the waking and the dream. So, as for the deep sleep state, there are no Vichitraha Vedyaha. Different types of known objects are not there. That is, from our experience we can very easily verify. In the deep sleep state, we don't know many things as such. Vichitraha Vedyaha certainly are not there in the deep sleep state. But there is one Vedya is there. What is that Vedya? One thing that is known is there. That is the ignorance. So if you ask anyone who has woken up from the sleep, what did you know during the deep sleep state? He has to say, I did not know anything. Na kinchid avedisham. This Vedya, though it is not Vichitra, it is not different as such, only one and the same, it is verily present there. How do you say so? Because we memorize, we recollect. So, in the deep sleep state, we did not know anything. See, na kinchid avedisham. I did not know anything. In which tense it is? Past tense. It is in the past tense. So, you don't say, I don't know anything. It is in the past tense. Means, you did experience in the deep sleep state. So, it is smriti. Bhavet smritihi. So, that smriti means, a smriti should be preceded by anubhava. Any smriti, this memory has to be preceded by experience. Without experience, you cannot have the memory. So, that's what it says. Sacha, sa smritihi, avabuddha vishaya. So, is the one which has got the object as the means, the object, the Vishaya of the Smriti is avabodha, something that was avabuddham. So, that which was experienced earlier in the deep sleep state. So, now one may ask, we have to come to that afterwards. Let's find in the deep sleep state we had experienced the ignorance of everything. So what? We will see later. So, but now we have to establish based on the Nyaya that in the deep sleep state, that is nothing, that is absence of everything, or ignorance was experienced, that we have to deduce based on the Nyaya. So this is the Nyaya pararthanumanam Nyaya. So from our findings we know, so that any memory has to be preceded by experience. But if you have to educate someone or make understand someone that in the deep sleep state there was experience of this ajnana. So, na kinchit avedisham iti ajnanam, that is ajnana. That smriti is ajnana. You see, Tarkikas who may divide that jnana as anubhava jnana and smriti. In anubhava, pratyaksha, anumana, all this knowledge they have put together, and smriti, the memory, they separate. Okay. Now, in the deep sleep state, we had experienced that we didn't know anything. That ignorance was experienced, for which yesterday did infer that I had given a model. That means parvato, one nima, the different aspects, the 5 limbs, pancha avayavas of the Nyaya have to be seen. Now the same thing, let us apply here to the this, establishing the fact that the smriti, that I did not know anything, na kinchit avedisham iti jnanam. This is the knowledge, that I did not know anything. So, this is avabuddham or anubhutam. This is something which was earlier experienced. That is what we have to establish. Sadhyam. The pratijna or the sadhya is na kinchit avedisham iti jnanam. So, that is, in other words, the word used by Panchadashikara is Saushupta Tamo Bodha. That is the word used by Panchadashikara. Saushupta Tamo Bodha, the knowledge of the ignorance in the dream. Saushupta Tamo Bodha. So this is avabuddham or anubhava purvakam. That is the pratijna. So Saushupta Tamo Bodha. So avabuddham or anubhava purvakam. This is the pratijna or sadhya that you have to prove. What is the paksha here? Though it is not the one for the avayava of the nyaya, the paksha is Saushupta Tamo Bodha. You see, what is paksha? Sandigdhavan sadhyaha paksha. So Sandigdhavan sadhya. So that is not Sandigdha sadhyavan paksha. Sandigdha sadhyavan paksha means you have to add there for better understanding. Sandigdha sadhyavan deshaha vishayaha va paksha. See, yesterday we had seen the definition. Sandigdha sadhyavan paksha. The van means matu pratyay is there. It is an adjective. Adjective to what? Something which has got the sadhya which is doubtful. Sandigdha sadhyavan means that which has got the sadhya which is doubtful. So about the actual nature of which we have got certain doubts. That is what is called paksha. Means the desha, the place, or the vishaya, the subject, about which we have got some doubt. So now that is paksha. So like the mountain is fiery. So we have a doubt about the mountain whether it is fiery or not, because all that we are seeing is the smoke, but we are not seeing the fire. So therefore we have got a doubt whether there is a fire on the mountain or not. So therefore the parvataha is paksha, because why? The sadhya, what is sadhya? Vanniman, the fiery is doubtful. So also here, in our case the paksha is na kinchid avedisham. I did not know anything. Iti jnanam. This knowledge is subjected to the doubt. What is the doubt? Whether it was experienced earlier or not. Avabuddham nava, anubhava purvakam nava. That is the doubt. So the paksha is now the plus. Here it is not desha, it is vishaya. The subject, that I did not know anything. This subject, you see, has got a doubt. Whether it was experienced earlier or not. Paksha. The sadhya is now that Saushupta Tamaha or Saushupta Tamo Bodha. So it is avabuddham or anubhava purvakam. So that is what we have to now establish. Sadhya we are seeing. So the reason that is given, so it is avabuddham, it is anubhutam. The reason is smrititvat. It is smriti. That I did not know anything in the dream is a smriti. It is a memory. Therefore, it is avabuddham, means it is experience. How do you say? Because it is smriti, memory, it is experience. How do you say? So we have to go now to the drishtanta. So drishtanta where vyapti also is there. So drishtanta is like this. Illustration has to be given. Yaya smritihi sa anubhava purvika. Drishtanta or udarana. Illustration. So there is udarana also. Udaranam they say. So the illustration is Yaya smritihi. Whatever that is smriti, memory, sa anubhava purvika. It is anubhava purvika means it is preceded by the anubhava, the experience. Now udaharana we have to give, illustration we have to give. It is like this. Same mata iti smritivat. Same mata you can put in inverted comma. Same mata itivat. Like the smriti, memory. She is my mother. Yesterday I was saying. Like means whatever that is recollected or whatever that is memory is preceded by the anubhava. How? Like she is my mother. Yesterday I was saying, she is my mother is not perception. There is a lady is a perception. But that lady is my mother is based on the past experience that she tended me. She brought me up with all love and care. So that is, I recollect. It is not experienced right now as such. So therefore, like that, she is my mother. So this is the udaharana. Now, this udaharana, illustration, we have to apply here to our paksha. Our paksha is na kinchit avedisham. So now we say, like that she is my mother is a smriti, so also na kinchid avedisham is smriti or not? Is smriti, is memory. So therefore say, look here. So tathacha etad jnanam. Tathacha. Similarly means just as she is my mother is smriti, tathacha, in the same manner, etad jnanam. Etad jnanam is this knowledge. What is that knowledge? Na kinchid avedisham iti jnanam, or etad saushupta tamo bodha. To use the same word used by the author. Etad. So therefore, etad jnanam, this knowledge. So what is that? So saushupta, ayam saushupta tamo bodha. This saushupta tamo bodha, this is what? Like that Sat Same Mata iti smritiva. So therefore what are you now going? This is Upanaya. Application of the illustration to this. Now you have to, we can deduce now, infer. So tasmad, so saushupta tamaha avabuddhaha, or tasmad na kinchit avedisham iti jnanam avabuddham. If we have to unite with the earlier word. So tasmad means therefore. Therefore, what is that therefore? Yasmat same mata, smriti is what? Avabuddha vishaya. So it is preceded by experience. Therefore, as according to that illustration, so therefore this, what is that? This saushupta tamaha, or na kinchit avedisham iti jnanam avabuddham iti nigamanam. This is the conclusion. This is how they establish. This is necessary because a very systematic approach is there. So therefore, what we, the memory that I did not know anything in the deep state is certainly preceded by my avabodha or anubhava experience, that there was nothing that was experienced in the deep state. No doubt about that. So therefore, we have got now a Vedya for in the deep state. What is that Vedya? Something that is known in the deep state. What is it? Saushupta tamaha. The ignorance that was there in the deep state. Na kinchit avedisham iti. That is the Vishaya. That is the subject. I don't know anything. That is what known by you or not. Because you had experienced earlier. Now you recollect. But earlier you experienced. So therefore we have got a Vedya, a Vishaya that we had known in the deep state. Okay. So what? Now, please tell me, when you experience that you did not, that you don't know anything in the deep state, that experience, does it presuppose samvit or not? It's very important. It's something that, you see, Chaitanya, Atma is there in the waking state, Chaitanya is there in the, samvit is there in the dream state, but in the deep state there is nothing. Isn't it? How do you know that there is nothing? You are telling me that there was nothing, that is Smriti. How did you know? Means experience was there. Now this Anubhava, that of ignorance of everything, was it, does it presuppose the Samvit, the Chaitanya or not? Otherwise you will not be, you see, because any blessed experience has to have the knowledge principle Samvit. So that is what they say, you see. Sarvopi anubhavaha jnanatmakaha. Sarvaha api anubhava. All experiences are jnanatmaka. So that means they have the knowledge principle as the very basis. Without the knowledge principle, no experience whatsoever is possible. Whether the waking state, dream state and the deep state, and variegated experience in the waking and the dream, none of these can be possible without the jnana means samvit. So therefore, in the deep state, we have samvit, and we have also got a vedya. Vishaya. What is that vedya? Ignorance. Saushupta tamaha. So that is the, if this much is understood, now easy. Same thing what I have discovered in the dream and the waking can be discovered here. So what you have to find out now? This saushupta tamo bodha, that knowledge of the ignorance, is distinct and different from samvit or not? Certainly. That I don't know anything, this ignorance is certainly different from the Samvit. How come? Vishaya Vishayinoho Bhedat. Vishaya Vishaya are different. As we have seen in the earlier, in the beginning itself. There are two: Vishaya, the subject, and the Vishayi, the object. Vishaya, the object. These are different from each other. So therefore, this Samvit is different from the Vedya that is available in the this state. And being Samvit, it should be the same as that of dream and the waking. So that is what is now explained. Sabodho Vishayad Bhinnaha Nabodhat Swapna Bodhavat Evam Thanatraye Peka Samvit Tadvaddinantare Masabda Yuga Kalpeshu Gata Gammeshvanekadha Nodeti Nasameteka Samvidesha Swayam Prabha. Seventh stanza, Gata Gammeshvanekadha. There is alternative reading also. Gata Gamishvanekadha. Gata Gammeshu. Instead of that, Gata Gamishvanekadha. Both alternate readings are available. Saha Bodhaha Vishayad Bhinnaha. Saha Bodha. What Bodha? Samshupta Tamo Bodha. The knowledge of the object in the deep state. Means we can say that Samvit knowledge principle, because of which you had experienced the ignorance in the deep state, that Bodha knowledge principle, Vishayad Bhinnaha. It is different, distinct and different from Vishaya. What is that Vishaya? Saushupta Tamaha. That I did not know anything. That it is distinct and different from that. Why? Vishayinoho Vedatvat. So Vishaya and Vishayi, subject and object, are distinct and different from each other. Okay. So therefore, Saha Bodhaha. So that means that Samvit that is available. So in terms of experience of the ignorance, the deep state is certainly distinct and different from the ignorance that is available in the deep state. Whereas Swapna Bodhavat Bodhat na Bhinnaha. That Bodha, so the Bodha, Bodhat na Bhinnaha. With that Samvit, which Samvit? That's the knowledge principle available in the deep state. Na Bhinnaha. Bodha is there, because that's for Bhinnaha. So it is not different from Bodhat. Which Bodhat? Any other Bodha, whether the waking and the dream. How? Swapna Bodhavat. Like the Bodha, the Samvit, that is Bodha here, Samvit. Like the Bodha available in the Swapna, means, just as earlier deduced, Swapna Bodha is not different from Jagara Bodha. Or in other words, the Samvit in the dream Swapna is not different from the Samvit in the waking. Because one and the same Samvit. What differs? Vedyaha, the upadhis differ. Samvit is one and the same. Example that you have seen is the same water in different colored jar. So like that, the Samvit is one and the same, whether the waking and the dream. The Swapna Bodhavat, like the Bodha, the Samvit of the Swapna, just as how it doesn't differ from that of waking. So also, the Samvit, the Bodha, means the Samvit, the knowledge principle in the deep state, is not different from that in the dream and the waking. Okay. So therefore, with this much, what we have discovered is Sthanatraye api evam in this manner, Sthanatraye api eka Samvit. Sthanatraye, in the three states, sthana. What are the sthana? Jagara, Swapna, Sushupti. In the three states of consciousness, but you have to say ekasmin dine, sthanatrayepi, not in a given day. So therefore, In a given day, ekasman dine, sthanatrayepi. So in the all three states of consciousness, waking, dream and the lucid state, eka samvit. How many samvit are there? Knowledge principle is one. That awareness principle, Chaitanya Tattva, is one in and through all the three states of consciousness in a given day. Unit, because he is going to apply it afterwards to the other days and all periods of time. Okay. Tadvat dinantare. Okay. Eka samvit. So evam means, as you have seen in the case of Jagara, Swapna and Sushupti, now put together, in all these three states of consciousness, there is only one samvit, one knowledge principle. Same thing is extended to other days. Tadvat, in the same manner. In the same manner means, just as the samvit is one and the same in a given day, in and through all the three states of experiences. So similarly, dinantare, in other days. What applies to one day as a sample? You see, we have conducted a sample analysis about the one day. First taking the waking state, dream state and the DC state. Same thing is extended to the rest of all the days. Tadvat, in the same manner, samvit, eka samvit in dinantare, in all the rest of the days. So he goes on applying the same to masa, that means the months, years and the yugas and the kalpa, etc. let us see. So tadvat, again that tadvat, masabda yuga kalpeshu, the tadvat has to be applied further. So masabda yuga kalpeshu, in masa is a month. You take one the week, fortnight and month. So in the tadvat, masa in a month, this samvit is one and the same. Abda is samvatsara. So samvatsara, the years. So samvit is one and the same in all the years. Yuga, in the yugas. So a certain age of the world. So Satya Yuga, the Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, we are in now Kali Yuga. So therefore the four yugas, Tadvat, Yugeshu, Yuga, Yugeshu, Kalpeshu, in the Kalpa. Kalpa is 1 day of Brahmaji. 1 day of Brahmaji. There is said to be 1000 yugas. Sahasra yuga paryantam aharyad brahmano vidu yaratrim yuga sahasrantam teho ratra vido janaha. Anywhere you have heard? I didn't give the tune. Where have you heard it? Sahasra yuga paryantam, Gita. So in Gita, of course, not Dr. Gita, okay. So we have to distinguish, okay, here. So in the Bhagavad Gita, that is not saying, see, Bhagavad Gita, otherwise, nowadays we have to specify Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, anyone and everyone writes a commentary. So Dorai Swami writes a commentary, it is Dorai Swami Gita, and Chinna Swami writes another commentary, that is Chinna Swami Gita. It goes on afterwards, but thing is that Bhagavad Gita we miss afterwards. So everyone gives his own meaning and what exactly is the actual meaning which is told by Bhagavan, that we miss. So in Bhagavad Gita we have found, so that means Sahasra Yuga. So Sahasra Yuga is ahaha, Brahmanaha ahaha. The day of one day of Brahmaji. Now we have to make a note there that Sahasra Yuga, which yugas? We have got what type of yugas? Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga. Whereas the duration span of these differ, they are not the same. For example, they say Kali Yuga is 4,32,000. Dwapara is double that, it goes on like that. Now which yuga you have to take? So therefore it is not any of these yugas. You have to make a note. Chatur yugas. Sahasra yugas told in Gita are Chatur yugas, means unit of 4 yugas. So Sahasra yugas means the unit of 4 yugas is considered as a 1 yuga in the Sahasra yuga in the stanza of the Gita. So therefore, so that's one use, Chatur yugas. Otherwise it is chronology like this. 71 Chatur yugas is 1 Manvantara. 1 Manvantara is the period wherein one Manu rules over. Like that, we have got 14 Manvantaras, which makes one day of Brahmaji, that is Kalpa. That is actually Sahasra Yoga is approximately 14 into 71. It comes about 994. Then they have got some that means conjunction period. So that is Sandhi period, etc. So therefore that is 1000 yugas. So that 1000 yugas it is Chatur Yuga. So that is, and the same span is that of the night of Brahmaji, where the dissolution takes place. When Brahmaji sleeps, what happens? When Brahmaji says there is a creation, you can't tell Brahmaji, we know you are very tired because all these days you are sleeping, but you are not sleeping. Now you are tired, you sleep, but we will mind our own business, you can't tell. Do you know why? Panchamahabhutas onwards, nothing is available. If Panchamahabhutas are not available, where will be our embodiment? Not possible. So therefore, during the sleep of Brahmaji, it is also that span is what? Same as one kalpa. So all this 71 into 14 or 1000 Chatur Yugas. So therefore, so that is what that in Samvit is how many? Eka. We have nothing to do much about the Yugas now here. Samvit. In and through this span of time, such a big span, they say about 432 million years of human years or something they say. Okay. In that span of time, Samvit is one. Okay. This is for a given kalpa. Same thing applies to all the kalpas that have gone by, the kalpa that is going on, the kalpas that are going to come in future. So therefore, gatagammeshu or gatagamishu. So gateshu, agamishu or agammeshu. So in the kalpas that have already gone by, that is there now, and that are going to come, anekada, in varied manner, means aneka prakarena, means all types of kalpas that have gone by past and that are going to come in the future, in and through all, ek tadvat eka samvit. So one samvit is there. So therefore, so what has been discovered so far is one samvit is there at all periods of time. Now he says, this is a very important thing, because Eka Samvit is there, that Eka Samvit is now shown as Nitya. It is permanent, it is Nitya, eternal means it is free from time, it is indestructible. How we have to see? We have discovered only Samvit is Eka. And when it is Eka? All along. At all periods of time that you can conceive of, because beyond Kalpa you can't conceive of the time as such. So at all periods of time, Samvit is Eka. Now he says that Eka Samvit naudeti. So naudeti means notpadyate. That Samvit is not born. How will you see after? Again, nastameti. So means na vinashyati. So that one Samvit is not born, Samvit knowledge principle, not born, it doesn't get destroyed. Na astamiti means na vinashyati. Now we have to discover. So the author has made this statement that one Samvit is not born or it doesn't get destroyed. How do you say so? Up to Eka Samvit, okay, we understand. One Samvit is there, we understand. But because that Samvit is only one at all periods of time, how do you say it is not born and it is not subject to destruction? Come on. Suppose it were born. You know what should be there? If anything is born, how do you say the thing is born? A child is born. How do you say? There is someone who has to mark the birth of the child, is it not? Anything that is born, there must be a witness. Witness in the sense, one who sees the birth of the particular thing. Something is dead, is destroyed. There also someone must be there, means some Chaitanya principle must be there. Sakshi must be there, who marks the birth and the destruction, death of a given thing. Is it not? Now, if Samvit is born, what should be there? There must be another Samvit which marks the birth of this Samvit or the destruction of this Samvit. How many Samvit we have got? Eka Samvit. So therefore it is like this. See, asakshikayoho utpatti vinashayoho asiddhehe. The utpatti and vinasha, the birth and the destruction of asakshikayoho, Ramakrishna Tika. So asakshikayoho, so that which has no sakshi. So which has no sakshi means which has no witness for its birth and the death. Aprasiddhehe is not known. So we can never say that something that is not born, something that is born and destroyed, but which has no witness. Such a thing cannot, because someone has to be there to know that it has been born, and it is destroyed. So therefore, that being the case, and if you say, okay, if that is the case, Eka Samvit, understand. We have understood that. Samvit is one. There is no other Samvit. And you are telling that because there is no other Samvit knowledge principle which is Sakshi, which can mark the birth and death of this Samvit, therefore you are telling that this Samvit has no birth and death. No, let us say like this. There is no other Samvit. Samvit is Eka only. But that Eka Samvit only knows its own birth and its death. Possible or not? Destruction. Given Samvit, let it be like that. The given Samvit knows its own birth. Possible? Knows its own destruction. Is it possible? Because if it is there, see, born means at a particular time. So, time t, let us say. If that born Samvit itself were to know its this thing, just a fraction movement before time t, the Samvit was there or not? No, it should not be. Because if that Samvit itself is, otherwise you can't say born. Born means what? Before born, the thing that was born was not there. So if Samvit is born at a time t, just as a fraction movement before time t, Samvit is not there. Samvit is not there. If Samvit is not there, how that non-existent Samvit can mark or be the Sakshi of the Samvit that is born at time t? Not possible. So that is Samvit, that means a given thing cannot mark its own birth. Same thing, destruction. Destruction means a thing has already got destroyed and afterwards it is not available. Someone says, oh, that thing is now no more now. If Samvit marks the destruction of itself, after it got destroyed, Samvit is no more. Who is there to say that it is no more? So that being the case, Samvit, that means Samvit knowing its own birth and destruction also is not possible. So that is say, Sotpatti vinashayoho taya eva samvida grahitum ashakyatvat. So, Swotpatti vinashayoho, Swasya utpatti vinashayoho, of one's own utpatti, the birth and vinasha, so, yoho, taya eva samvida, by that very samvid, so, Grahitum means Jnatum Ashakyatvat. To know, it is not possible. So means there cannot be other Samvit which can know the birth and the destruction of this Samvit, because Eka Samvit. The very Eka Samvit itself cannot know the birth and destruction of that, because one cannot know its own birth and destruction. Means Sakshi is not available. Okay. Now, also, then let us say one thing. Eka Samvit so far so good, but for this sake, for the birth and the destruction of Samvit, let there be another Samvit. That is, the birth and destruction of this Samvit is illumined, known by other samvit. You know what will happen thereafter? If you say so, the question arises, another samvit is samvit or not? You need to know the birth and death of this samvit, other samvit. Other samvit being samvit itself will be subject to birth and death. That will need other samvit. That itself being samvit being birth, subject to birth and death, will need other samvit. Where are you going to land? So that is anavastha dosha. So there is an absence of conclusiveness, absence of finality. It will go to infinity. You can't say where it started at all. So therefore, that also is not possible. You say, Savidantara bhava cha. So, another samvit is not there. Another problem also will come. Suppose, there are two samvits. You know what will happen? If two samvits are there, two knowledge principles are there, another problem comes. If two knowledge principles are there, how do you say two knowledge principles are there? You have to know or not? Samvit has to be known. Then the question arises, which samvit knows the other samvit? Samvit A, samvit B. Which of these two knows the other one? Whether samvit A knows the samvit B or whether samvit B knows the samvit A. Come on, tell me. Which one? Why bother? Let us take anyone, is it not? Okay. Let us say, samvit A knows the samvit B. Do you know what will happen? When samvit A knows samvit B ceases to be the samvit. Huh? What miracle? Yes. Let us see. How? If samvit B is known by samvit A, samvit B becomes jneyam, something which is known. It is drishyam. Yad drishyam tad jadam tan nashyam. That which is known is Vishaya, whereas the knower is Vishayi. So therefore known is Jada, inert, and being inert it is subject to destruction. So therefore we have got now samvit B which is born and subject to destruction. Not possible. So therefore two samvit cannot be possible. So therefore eka samvit. So therefore the samvit. So nodeti nasameti. So therefore eka samvit. So nodeti nasameti. It is not born. It is not subject to destruction. Therefore now one more thing is, if that is the case, how can you know this samvit? Samvit is not born, samvit is not getting destroyed, it is only one samvit. Now we have to see something further. Here is the paperweight. Okay? How do you know this? You are perceiving it. Okay. Now this paperweight is perceived by us. We are seeing. Can the paperweight be known without our perception? No. So therefore we have to perceive with our eyes. Mind is necessary. Finally, that vritti of the paperweight akara vritti, which is inert, is known by what? Samvit. So therefore, this paperweight is not swaprakasha, it is paraprakasha. This lamp, do you need any torch etc. to see this lamp? Swaprakasha. The sun is swaprakasha in the Vyavaharika world. Okay. Like that, is this paperweight swaprakasha? First light principle is necessary. Afterwards you have to see with your eyes. Then only you can say there is a paperweight. So this is not swaprakasha. It is not self-luminous. It depends on something else for its existence. Paraprakasha. Is it not? So now, this samvit, is it swaprakasha or paraprakasha? We have to find out. To know samvit, do we need other samvit? No. Why? Because no other samvit is possible. So therefore, this samvit, eka samvit, swayam prabha. That Samvit is Swayam Prabha. Swayam Prabha means self-luminous, that means the self-effulgent, or what is called as Swayam Prakasha. Swayam Prakasha in the sense, Vina sadhanena bhati iti Swayam Prakasha. It shines without the help of any other thing. For this paperweight to shine, to know this paperweight, what you need? You need the light, you need the eyes, you need the mind. Samvit also is needed. But for that Samvit, so that is Swayam Swaprakasha, means it is Swayam Prabha, means it is Swayam Prakasha. So, if you say Anyaihi Vedyate, if the Swayam Prabha, that means self-luminous, this Samvit is known by others, that Anavastha dosha is going to come. So it is known because of other Samvit. That Samvit is known because of other Samvit. Like that you end in a regret. So therefore that is not possible. So Eka Samvit at all periods of time, it is self-luminous, self-effulgent. Okay. Now the question is, okay, your Samvit may be self-luminous, self-effulgent. But look here, just as this paperweight or a ghata, that is a pot or a paperweight, is it Swaprakasha, Swayam Prabha? No, it is Paraprakasha. But is it Vedya or not? It is Vedya. It is something which is known. Okay, you are pointing out to a Samvit which is not Vedya, which is Swayam Prakasha. Let us we have to come to that afterwards. So you are talking about a Samvit which is not Paraprakasha, but it is Swayam Prakasha or Swayam Prabha. Whereas this paperweight or Ghataha Paraprakasha. Whereas Samvit is Swaprakasha, Swayam Prakasha or Swayam Prabha. Maybe the difference is one is self-luminous, other is not self-luminous. But this paperweight or Ghata is Ghataha Vedyaha. Vedyaha Nava. Yes. A pot is known. Like that, let your Samvit be also Vedya Samvit. Maybe that there is difference between a pot, Ghata and Samvit. What is that? Samvit is Swayam Prakasha or Swayam Prabha. Whereas the Ghata is Ghataha Paraprakasha. Agreed. But just as the Ghata pot or any given object is Vedya, so also let the Samvit be Vedya, means something known. Why not? He says not possible. Samvit cannot be Vedya, which I have seen earlier, because Vedyaha, Bhinnaha, Tataha, Pruthak Samvit. Pruthak means, Pruthak Kruta means Buddhya Vivechita. Samvit is what? One. Already seen. But in this context, I have to see again, in the sense, see, this Samvit cannot be Vedya, cannot be something which is known. Why it cannot be known? So because, see, any known things Vedya can either be Pratyaksha or Paroksha. Is it not? Anything that is known can fit in the category of Pratyaksha or Paroksha. What is Pratyaksha? Directly perceived. Paroksha, remote, not available for direct perception now, but in course of time can be Pratyaksha. Coimbatore city, Pratyaksha or Paroksha for you right now? Paroksha. But you can go there, it will become Pratyaksha. So therefore, so a Vedya, also there is one other type of Vedya, Sakshi Vedyaha. A thought that comes in your mind, Pratyaksha or Paroksha? Pratyaksha, but that doesn't mean that you are perceiving through your sense organs. It is Sakshi Pratyaksha. Sakshi Pratyaksha means the moment a thought crops up in your mind, it is illumined by the Chaitanya. So that is Sakshi Pratyaksha. It is not perceived through your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch. It is not that such Pratyaksha, but Sakshi Pratyaksha. That Sakshi Bhasyaha they are called. Okay. Now, Vedya can be either Pratyaksha or Paroksha or Sakshi Bhasya or Sakshi, that is illumined by the directly by the Chaitanya Tattva, Sakshi Bhasya. Now, Samvit fits in which category of these three? Samvit cannot be any one of these. So therefore, Samvit is not Vedya. If Samvit is not Vedya, what it can be? That which is distinct and different from Pratyaksha, that which is distinct and different from Paroksha, and that which is distinct and different from Sakshi Bhasya. You know what is Sakshi Bhasya now? Thoughts, etc. What it can be? Is there any word for that? What is it? Aparoksha. Is it not? Look, don't nod your head just like that. That which is different from Pratyaksha, different from Paroksha, of course different from Sakshi Bhasya, need necessarily be Aparoksha. Na Paroksha, Aparoksha. Now tell me, what is that Aparoksha other than the word? What is the Aparoksha that is available in the creation? How many Aparoksha things are there? Only one. What is that? I. Tattva-bodha. That's actually first chapter is reinforcement of Tattva-bodha. Okay? So that this prakriya is to reinforce the Tattva-bodha prakriya. That which is distinct and different from Pratyaksha, Paroksha is necessarily Aparoksha. It can be only I. Is I Pratyaksha? After Atma, etc., let us not bother. After, first tell me, do you see I? Do you taste I? Touch I? Smell I? Or hear I? Oh, no. That I is in New York, therefore is there. So therefore what? You go there in New York to find out I, is it? Is Paroksha which can be subjected to Pratyaksha? No. So therefore Aparoksha can be what? One and that I only can be Aparoksha. Therefore, this Samvit is now Aparoksha, and Aparoksha is I. Therefore, Samvit is what? Who is Samvit now? I. My real nature, I, Atma is what? Samvit. Tell me now, how far is Atma from you? This Samvit we have discovered. Don't think, see, Vidyaranya has no business and he started meddling and inquiring something, analyzing something. You will understand now. He is going to tell in the next stanza. Why he has deduced this Samvit? Because he says, this Samvit we have discovered so far is I, Atma. So how far is Atma from you? Or how near is Atma from you? You know, they say, like Swami used to give the example of glass on your head, is it? And you search all over for the glass. Otherwise there are many things. In Konkani it is said, Hande rasa chado, sotta sagla vado. Just similar sayings are there in the other way. Chado means a child. Hande means on the waist the child is there. In a village, a lady with the child on the waist, she was talking, some gossiping is going with the neighboring lady. And she got so much absorbed in the gossiping, that gossiping samadhi she got there. Once the gossiping was over, she went back to home and suddenly found, where is the child? And started searching all houses in the village. Where is the child? Where is the child? All the time carrying the child on her waist. So, afterwards somebody said, what are you searching? Child is where? Praptasya prapti. Same thing is other thing. Gujarati also they say. Kakma lekru, gauma shodhe. The lekru is what? Kakma. Gauma shodhe. What? Searches all over the village. Or also it is said in the Marathi, it says, Handevar ghagri, gavat shodhe. Gaubhar shodhe. The gaubhar shodhe. Ghagri means the pot, the belly type pot with a small neck is used to carry the water as well. So they used to carry on the waist, that is the safest method of carrying weight. Other, no problem of slip dislocated, etc. So no danger is there. So she is carrying she was to go to bring the water from the well, village well. And she kept the pot and went. And so many laboring ladies are there, she started talking there, gossiping. And it was late now. Now she has to fill up the water. She is searching, where is my pot, where is my pot, where is my pot? It is all here only. So like that, now Atma, we are searching. That's why we have joined the... What for you have joined the course? I had joined earlier, okay. What for we are joining the Vedanta course? To discover who? Atma. Where is it now? No, you please tell me, be honest enough. Do you know any Savit or not? No, not Savit. Vedyaha. In life, do you know any Vedyaha? Known things are there in your life or not? At least you know that I don't know anything. You may not know many things in life, but at least do you know that you don't know anything? That much you know or not, that is Vedya. That Vedya is based on what? Samvit, knowledge principle, which is distinct and different from the Vedyas. All the Vedyas are different, Samvit is one. That Samvit is I. So that is what is now deducing. Continue. Iyamatma paranandaha parapremaspadam yataha manabhuvam hi bhuyasam iti prematmani ikshate. Iyam atma paranandaha. No. Iyam atma, stop there. Will come parananda afterwards. Iyam atma. What is iyam? Iyam samvit. Samvit is feminine, therefore iyam. Iyam samvit, the samvit we have unfolded so far is atma. In fact, what we have discovered, he is now putting in clear terms now. So this eka samvit nodeti nastameti. So that is what? Atma. It is Atma means I. It is my real nature. If you take anything other than this as I, you have mistaken yourself. So this Iyam Samvit is Atma. So by this we can find out Iyam Samvit Atma. And that Samvit is how many Samvit? Eka. Nodeti nastameti. It is not born, it is not subject to destruction. Means it is nitya or anitya. Nitya. It is nitya. That Samvit is nitya, free from time. So that which is nitya is certainly satya. Satya. Therefore, I Atma is satya or sat. Yes or no? See, this Samvit is Atma and it is Eka. Eka, neither born nor subject to destruction. That itself shows that Samvit must be Sarvavyapi also, because it has no limitation. Neither born nor destructible means it always is. That which always is means if it has got any limitations, it will be subject to destruction. Means it must be Sarvavyapi. All these are included in that Eka. So therefore, now that Eka Samvit should necessarily be Nitya. It should be Nitya. What is Nitya? That which has no vikaras like Asti, Jayat, etc. Shadvikaras. That which is free from Shadvikaras is Nitya. So Samvit is free from Shadvikara. So therefore, you see, look here. So, Iyam Samvit Atma Bhavitum Arhati. This Samvit has to be Atma. We have to figure why it is Atma. It is not Vedya. It is Aparoksha. It is Swaprakash, Swayam Prakasha, Swayam Prabha. So therefore it is I, the Atma. Now, because it was Eka pointed out, it is Nitya. So because it is Nitya, so and Swayam Prakasha, it has to be Satya. Because anything is Nitya is Satya. Nityatve Sati. So Satyatva Siddhe. Whatever that is Nitya, it should necessarily be Satya, because जायते इत्यादि षड विकार राहित्यम नित्यत्वम तदेव सत्यत्वम. व्हाट इज नित्यत्वम? जायते इत्यादि षड विकार राहित्यम. That which is free from जायते etc. जायते अस्ति वर्धते विपरिणमते अपक्षीयते विनश्यति. So that which is free from six modification, that is nitya, means eternal, means always there, that itself is satya. Now samvit is so or not? Eka, therefore it is satya. So means, and it is atma, means atma is sat. It is also chit. How? Samvit. What is samvit? Only samvit is nothing but chit. Of course you know. Samvit is nothing but chaitanya chit. Only the words differ. The content is same. Samvit is now, that is chit. Means yam samvit atma, means this chit, samvit which is chit is atma. Itself is sat because eka, that is nitya. So therefore atma, I, is sat and chit. So what? Let it be. So that Atma is Ananda Swarupa. So that is now he is going to